Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Lone Wolf 902 and back out in the woods for another video. So, just kind of looking for a spot to set up. I got my hammock set up this time. It's going to be a little bit different, but I think it's going to be a good one. So, just kind of coming through this woodland here. Got a lot of fallen trees. A little bit wet. Give you guys a look around. A lot of fallen trees out here. Pretty wet and marshy too. So I think I'm going to be hanging my hammock somewheres in this location. Been walking for a little bit now. And I just got a brand new pair of shoes, by the way. Have a look at those bad boys. They're brand new, so not even broken in. Literally just got them today. And figure why not break them in. So I've been having a lot of ankle pain lately, right on the inside of my ankle here, right on the bone portion. And I think what's happening is I've been wearing my heavy boots a lot lately, and I'm pretty sure that it's just wearing on my ankle really bad. So I wanted a pair of low cut shoes that wasn't going to cause any more pain, and I think we got it. So we get them broke in today and hopefully won't have any issues. So as you guys can tell, we have quite a bit of rain. It's quite wet out here. All the wood's wet. It just stopped raining probably maybe about 5-10 minutes ago. And it's not too bad. I mean, the cloud's complete gray, so it's not calling for more rain, but there's a possibility. And yeah, either way, we're here. We're going to have some fun and enjoy it. Now, I know that there is a river off in this direction. So, if I do need more water, I packed water in with me. I think it's on that side of my pack. So I do have 1.5 liters of water with me, as well as 3 craft beer. And I didn't bring any fancy food this time. I just brought basically ramen, oatmeal, that kind of stuff. So nice and simple. And a lot of songbirds flying over. Huh. Other than those birds, it's quiet out here. But yeah, like I was saying, I know there's a river down this direction, but all this stuff right here behind camera, it's all looking pretty swampy and pretty boggy. And like I said, I don't have my my boots on. I got these new shoes, and I'm not about to test to see how waterproof they are. So we'll leave that for another day. But yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and, like I said, I'm just looking here in the area, and the area is looking really good for firewood. And I like firewood. I like areas that have firewood. So yeah, we're gonna probably pitch up somewhere around here. Gonna do a low-key kind of pitch today, I think. And yeah, we'll have a look. So right off the bat, found a birch tree. That's not bad. I'm going to take advantage of that. There's a couple more around here. Got a big one over there, more off in the distance there. So I'm going to take advantage of that right now while I can, where it is so wet. And if it does start to rain, I'll have some birch bark on standby. So bonus. Like I've said earlier, there's a lot of firewood in this area, and a lot of it's already broken. I got big trees like this guy right here. Really big tree. I can knock that down, no problem. And burn that all night. And there's probably a good 15 or 20 of them like that around here. I just don't know if I really want to be... It's not real open right here. or it is open, sorry, it is really open here, and I'd like to be somewhere that's a little bit more sheltered, maybe with a little bit more to look at, maybe a little bit more to do. So I don't know, let's venture on this way. Alright guys, I think I found a location for the hammock tonight. Looking at this tree right here and this tree right here, hopefully everything will fit properly. I'm concerned about how long the ridge needs to be for my tarp, but we're going to go ahead and get the hammock pitched and I'll bring you guys back. Alright guys, so those first two trees over in the background, they didn't work. They weren't far enough apart. So I came back over here and found these two trees. They seem to be far enough apart. I have the task of cleaning all of this stuff out of the way though, just to make it a little bit more livable. And I guess the first thing, where it is still cloudy and rain is a possibility, I want to get the tarp up right away. I got a few trees off camera right now, but I got 1 and 2 trees that need to come down, and the backside looks pretty good. So just 1 and 2 that I want to use for firewood. And then I got firewood all around me. I'm going to clear some of this stuff up and get set up a little bit better. But for right now, I need to get the tarp strung up and I need the hammock system set up, and then we'll carry on from there. Yeah, you don't really realize how much deer's crap in the woods, but there's a lot of deer crap around here that's got to be cleaned out. I stepped in a big pile of it over there. I had to brush my feet off in the moss, so I'm going to have to get all that crap cleared out of here because I'm not going to be dealing with that all night. Those of you who watch my past videos probably know that I'm gonna be messing around with these guy lines a little bit later on. Probably changing up the tarp shelter here and there, but we'll get it set up initially so we can get our hammock all in there and get squared away. For a tarp setup today, I got my AquaQuest 10 by 13 foot Defender tarp. Excellent tarp. I highly recommend it if you guys want a really bomb-proof tarp that's going to protect you from wind, rain, snow. Definitely go with the AquaQuest 10 by 13 Defender. So you can see how massive this is. I got a ton of livable space under here. If the rain does start, I'm going to be completely dry. This tarp's massive, so I highly recommend if you're going out in wet environments, if it's snowing or raining or whatever, this tarp, awesome. Not even just this tarp, but if you get 10 by 13, right now I got it set up 10 wide and 13 long, and I have a huge amount of room. So I'm not going to have to worry about any rain or anything tonight. And yeah, it's one of my things. It's a heavier item, but it's one of those items that I know I'm going to be happy taking. So, big tarp, rain, no brainer. Alright, so now that I got the hammock hung, I'm going to go ahead and put my clothing in there. I got an extra sweater, a pair of pants, and my down jacket. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there and zip it up right now, because we have quite a large tick problem here in Nova Scotia, and a lot of these little buggers carry Lyme disease. So right now I'm wearing a pair of camel pants, and I got a pair of just all brown khaki pants. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these pants off and I'm going to check them very thoroughly, and then I'm going to put them in my hammock and I'm going to change into my all brown pants. And basically I'm going to sleep in these pants, and my khaki pants that I'm going to take off, my brown ones, where they're one color, it should be really easy to pick out whether I have ticks on me or not. Those pants I'm going to take off and thoroughly check later on tonight, and I'll slip them into my underquilt, which is what I'm going to put on right now, and then get changed and all that jazz. So a little bit of a tip, that's why I got the bright sweater on. And I mean, I could pick up ticks on these pants, but it would just be so much easier to find them if I had one color. So I'm going to go ahead and do those two things, pants and underquilts, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I got my pants changed, I got my underquilts hung, as you can see. Got all my gear inside, my sleeping bag and all my clothes and all that good stuff. Now, talking about rain, we're in a hammock, and if you guys don't hammock camp, you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but give you a chance to learn. So I'm just getting ready to set up my drip lines, and I got some paracord here that I'm going to use. So I'll show you guys what basically what a drip line is if you don't know what it is, and if you guys do know what it is, I'm just going to show you anyways. Alright, so like I said, I got my paracord, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put a simple little loop on my strap. So what's going to happen is if it does rain, the rain's going to come down the strap, it's going to hit this little knot, and it's basically going to follow the path of least resistance, and it's going to want to follow this piece of paracord and run all the way down. Now, I have a buckle system set up right here with a toggle, so if it gets past this by any chance where it is flat, sometimes it makes it past the first one. If it makes it past that, it'll hit this and then drip off and down, which is why I always leave my strap hanging straight down. So I kind of got a double drip line system. Just got the tarp set up, just got the drip lines on, and what do you know? A couple raindrops hitting the tarp, so perfect timing on that. Now, a few things I still have to do. I got a tree right over here that I got to push over. I'm going to use that for firewood, and just to make sure it doesn't fall on me. But I got two trees actually. I got two trees I got to knock over and then cut up, either make a reflector wall if I really need one. As you can see, I'm in a shirt, so it's not really terribly cold out. It's supposed to get down to 4 degrees tonight, I believe. Now, on that, 4 degrees. My setup, earlier I said it was going to be a little different. So as you can see right here, I got my 2 synthetic quilts on. I did not bring my down under quilt. So whenever it's about 5 degrees, I know in my area that one underquilt will keep me warm in the day, and then adding the second one will keep me warm through the night when my body starts to shut down and get into sleep mode. I also have my down North Face sleeping bag. So this is my North Face Blue Kazoo. If you guys are wondering how small down bags pack up, that's how small. And this isn't even cinched down yet. Like, I can really cinch that down a lot more. And this guy I have used down to -20, no problem, sleeping on the ground in a tent. So whenever I got this bad boy, and I got my 2 synthetic underquilts plus my down underquilt, and it's winter, I sweat. I break out in a sweat every time, and I find myself taking the sleeping bag and kind of pulling it down off me, because I use it just as a top quilt. So that's what I got for a setup. Go ahead and uncinch this a little bit. I'm not going to take it out of the stuff sack now, just because I'm still kind of in daytime mode. I'm going to be in and out of the hammock quite often, and I don't want it flopping out. So I'm thinking it's pretty much lunchtime. I got a few little snacks here. I didn't bring anything glamorous for food, so I'm not doing a big cookout. I brought simple things like a little bit of nut clusters. I got all my stuff out here. I like to sprawl everything out when I get to camp. So if you guys can kind of see, I got all my stuff over here. I got a couple of beer up there, we'll go through that later on, and then I got 2 packs of ramen, 2 packs of trail mix, a couple granola bars, I got some cheese, nut clusters, coffee, cup of soup, just some basic stuff, nothing crazy. I'm just out for the night. Oh, and I got my oatmeal. So nothing crazy, like I said. I'm just out for an overnighter. I didn't want to have to pack a whole bunch of food and go through that whole arduous task of cooking over the fire. And this trip, I just wanted to do it a little bit different. I wanted to just be relaxed and just not have to worry about jump out, cook this, jump out, do that. Just want to chill out this time. So before we start getting to work, getting some firewood, I think what I'm going to do is I want a coffee. So here's the trick. I didn't bring a stove. I don't have my canister stove. I didn't bring any kind of stove item. What I do have is I brought makeup pads that I put on my last video, and that's basically what I'm going to be using for cooking and over the fire. I mean, once I get a fire cooking, yeah, I could, put a pot on it or whatever, but for now, I'm going to make a coffee. I don't have a fire going, so I'm going to get my little makeup pad puck that I made. I'm going to throw a spark into that and get making some hot water for coffee. Ooh, I farted. Okay, so for my makeup pad stove, basically, that's what I'm going to call it, my makeup pad stove. I need to elevate my pot up off the ground, so I got this piece of really wet punky wood. I'm just going to cut 2 sections to make a pot stand. Okay, so I got my logs all cut up and on the ground, ready to go. I did clear out the area a little bit, had some moss there. It's nice wet soil underneath, so it'll be a good spot to kind of make a little burning area so we don't light the whole forest on fire. That's a good idea. Alright, so here are the makeup pads that I made up. This is 2, and this I think is like 5 or 6. So they are quite thick. Now the only thing I have to do is, where they're soaked in a lot of candle wax, all I got to do is really carefully just kind of pop a little hole in here to fluff up some of these fibers. And once I get a couple fibers broken free, it usually accepts a spark quite easily from the fire steel. So we'll try that. Now I got my tin of char cloth, and what I'm going to do is just put the char cloth inside of the lid. I'm going to set this off to the side over here with my birch bark, and I'm just going to use the tin itself to hold the makeup pad. And this will do 2 things. 1, it's going to hold the fire in, and 2, when I want to put it out and save this for later on, I can just simply put the lid on top and snuff it out. So let's give that a go. There it goes. Pretty simple. Put your tools away so you don't lose them. So I brought with me today, I got there's this 1.5 liters of water, and I did carry this in. I didn't want to be bothered with having a hike down to a water source or river and bring my filter and all that jazz. Like I said, I just want to be out here and just relax. I've been doing a lot of long hikes lately and been out huffing around gear and kind of going here and going there, and I figured this time I would just come out and play it safe, you know, just do something for me and get this video and have a good time. Now the only thing with this water is I do have, I got oatmeal, 2 packs of ramen, cup of soup, and I think that's it. So I do have a fair bit of food that requires water. I do have a river, so if I run out, I can go and I can get more water and boil it, but just going to kind of ration it. Woo! The pan just popped from the heat. Check out my cup. Oh yeah! Alright. So that seems to be burning nicely, doing its job. I'm not too concerned if it catches the log on fire, because the ground's wet and I'm not going anywhere, as I'm right here. So just pop that on top like that, and put the lid on, and we'll wait for that to boil. So what do we got for coffee? Well, I was fortunate enough that I had a viewer give me a whole bunch of Nescafes, 3-in-1s. So that's pretty cool. See if Bigfoot comes out later on and tries to steal one. Huh? Oh, you know what I'm talking about. Person who gave me these knows what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna have one of these, cook it up, and enjoy. Thanks, by the way. Give you guys a look at how that's burning under there. Doing pretty good. You know you're camping when your undies are camo. Tactical. Alright, well I think our water is ready for a coffee. So I'm going to go ahead and snuff this out just by dropping the lid on top. And it's out. Smoke's contained. Put that over the little hole. There. We got coffee water. Ooh, ridgeline. I don't know how many times I walked into that thing. I'm gonna tighten that up a little bit. That was my great idea of doing everything in camouflage. Yeah, we got a camouflage tarp, underquilt, guy lines. They're camo. Alright, so this is one of the trees I was talking about that I got to push over. And you see my tarps right here, so hopefully it goes that way. But that should give us a fair bit of firewood. And I got another one off camera just over here. And I believe that's it. I thought there was another one. Maybe it was just that one. Alright. So, let's knock it over. Give you a different angle. Boom! Alright. Tree's down. Alright, so here's a big portion of that tree that just came down. As you can see, it's fairly light. The piece already broke off at the top, so I don't need to cut that. But one important thing I should mention is I don't have a big saw today. I don't have an axe or a hatchet either. So that's kind of why I'm targeting this tree, is because I know it's going to be rotten and easy to break. As I just said, a big chunk already broke off at the top. So I'm going to try and get this tree up out of the ground if I can. Wedge it in between two trees. Do whatever I got to do to break it up into manageable size pieces. And basically get a fire laid ready for tonight. Probably move the camera first. Oh, that's two pieces. Oh, it's up out of the ground now, so that's good. Yeah, I think that'll work. So this is kind of a trick if you don't have an axe or a saw. Find two trees that are close and slide your piece of wood in. Oh. Whew. Go from the other end. And actually, now looking at the ground, I might be able to put a crack in there by jumping on it. Nope. Alright, well, we'll just go ahead with the original plan. What plan? Okay. That tree's got a little bit more bounce than I thought. Whew. So, I'm going to put a little cut with my saw and try it again. Probably cut right through the whole thing, actually. It's really not that hard. Yeah, I'll give that a shot. That worked. Alright, so we got another section broken off. That leaves us with this really big section here. And there's actually quite a solid chunk of fine footing here. There's actually quite a solid chunk of core wood inside that's not rotten. Try to catch my breath here. So it is worth processing. It'll definitely burn for a long time. So I guess I gotta figure out where the fire's gonna go first. Yeah, okay, alright, yeah, okay, alright, yeah, alright. I'm peeing right now. But I can't show you because that'd be really weird. Alright, let's go. Okay, so a couple things going on right now. One, I almost lost my eyeballs on that ridgeline again, just right there. Two, the bugs are starting to come out. Starting to get a few mosquitoes and flies kind of buzzing around. So, not really a fan of that. But I still need to find a location for my fire, and I'm kind of thinking I don't want it close to the tarp for obvious reasons, and it probably is going to be quite a large fire judging by the pieces of wood. So I like something to lean on though. I really like something behind me, so I can like lean up against a tree or something. I don't really want it to be too far from the hammock. I like to kind of, you know, chill out, get my photos next to the hammock and video and stuff like that. So, not a whole lot of options here. Alright, so I made the decision to put the fire right here. Obviously I'm going to clear this area out. To give you guys a perspective of where you're at, the camera is literally hanging just underneath the tarp of the hammock. So it's not too close and it's not too far, but I do have this tree and I do have that tree right over there. Either one I can lean up against. I just really need to clean this out. And the reason I chose it is because this fallen tree just came down, so there's a lot of exposed wet soil. I believe I can clear this out well enough to contain the fire. So, you can go ahead and cut this. Firewood over here. And we'll go ahead and prep this area. I think I'll be able to chill out right here and get this area cleaned up a little bit more. Yeah, it's a pretty good seat though, nice and solid. A hammock right behind me, so it's not too far from food and beer. So that'll be a nice little quick walk, and I like having the fire close too because one, I want to keep an eye on it when I'm in the hammock when I go to bed, and two, it gives off a lot of light, so it offers up a little bit of a light source too, and a nice ambient lighting too, because I'll be hanging out in the hammock before I go to sleep anyways. I always light a candle and put it on the ground and kind of chill out and just relax a little bit before I fall asleep, so I'll be able to keep a really close eye on it. Whew. Alright, let's get to work. So I'm going to go ahead and have my fire right down in here. Some of the stuff, yeah, there are roots in here, and it is a bit of duff over here, and I'm actually hoping that it does catch on fire, because once it catches on fire, I'll put it out and hopefully it won't catch again. But either way, I'm going to be right here 5 feet away. Well, I'll be 2 feet away while it's burning, and then I'll be in the hammock overnight and make sure it's all snuffed out. There is a whole bunch. I just got looking because I was a little worried. There's a giant puddle down here in this little boggy area. So what I'm going to do is, before I go to sleep, I'll take my pot and I'll go down there and collect some water and I'll douse the whole area. And I'm going to lay in the hammock for about an hour, hour and a half before I fall asleep anyways. So I think we're doing pretty good. So I'm just going to go ahead and set these down. And this will be my fire lay to get the fire going. That should be enough to get it up off the ground. I got some birch bark that I collected earlier. I'll go and get that right now. So put my birch bark down in here, and I'm gonna go collect some more firewood off camera. I'm not gonna bore you guys with that. And I'm not sure of the time. I'll check the time in a few minutes, but basically I'm a longer stick than that. But basically I'm just gonna get all my firewood processed for the night, get that all over here off to the side, and yeah, and then I'll be back once all that's done.
Firewood? What you need firewood for, boy? It's like 5 degrees outside. Was you trying to scare off Bigfoot or something?
Okay, guys. Alright. So, I got my tin, and I got a piece of char cloth in here. I don't have a flint and steel set. I lost it. So, I do want to use the char cloth to start the fire. I got some birch bark. I'm not going to use my fire steel. I'm going to use this little guy. My little spark tool. So, I'm going to mess around with some char cloth today. I'm going to have to get out, and my old flint steel kit, what I used was an old file. An old high carbon steel file. And maybe like a 1 centimeter wide file. And, well, no, probably about a 1/2 inch. And what I did is I just put it in my benchtop vise, and I bent it over, so it was kind of like a little bit of a brass knuckle type deal. And I could put my hands in it and hold it, and then I could hold my piece of flint or whatever stone I was using, and then give a good shower of sparks. Well, I lost it a while ago, and I haven't been able to find it, and not really into buying them. I mean, I can buy one off Amazon for like 20 bucks, but yeah, I'm gonna hold off. I might just get a piece of steel and go down to the river and start hitting some rocks and see what happens, and maybe do that. But with all that aside, big things are about to happen right now. Woo! Whoa, buddy. So today, I went to my, okay, here's a story for you guys. I went to my beer store, and I went to my local beer store, and they're always getting in new brews from local breweries and whatnot. And now that spring's coming in, we'll be hitting summer. All the local brewers are all coming out with their seasonal hits and good brews. So, one of my favorites, Big Spruce. You guys heard this before. Check that bad boy out. They came out with this guy. Tag, You're It. Wildly Delicious IPA. And I was down at my beer store, and I walked in, and there was one left on the shelf. Just one little can just sitting there looking at me just like that on the shelf. And there was the name, there was the price, and I was kind of like looking, and I didn't see any more. This was the last one. So I don't know if they got a really small order in, or people just bought it all. But of course I grabbed it right away. So, tell you what we got going on here. We got 6.5% strong beer, it says. It's an IPA. Here we go. Let me read to you. Let me read to you guys again. So it says, Tag, You're It. Celebrates the 3rd installment of the conservation collaboration between Big Spruce Brewing and the Ocean Tracking Network. This year, Tag, You're It supports International Year of the Salmon, a global initiative focused on wild salmon research and our connections to these iconic species. Man, I love salmon. 50 cents from every can of this intensely juicy IPA supports wild Atlantic salmon research, conservation, and habitat restoration in the Maritimes. That's a pretty sweet idea. Well, I do enjoy fishing, I do enjoy salmon, and I also do enjoy a bit of conservation, so that's awesome, guys. That's really neat. Top of the can says organic. Yeah. Big Spruce Brewing did it again. 2 thumbs. 2 thumbs for you guys. Keep up the good work. So we're going to crack into this guy, and I want to grab my cup. 1 second. Here's the magic. Oh yeah. Not a bad echo, not a bad echo. It's got a wild smell. Like I said, big spruce is one of my favorites, and they just seem to have, it's got to be their hops. It's got to be. They've got this really distinct smell, like this aroma that it's a good aroma. And whenever I crack a beer, and sometimes like I won't even look at the can. I don't know if that's weird. This can is in a clear plastic label, so every now and then I'll kind of peel the label off so all the cans look the same, and then so you don't know what you're drinking, just to mix it up. And it's kind of dorky, but it's fun. And I'll crack into that big spruce, and instantly I'll be like, that's got to be big spruce. That's got to be big spruce. And yeah, I'm always right. It's good. It's really, really good. And it's not ice cold right now. And that's difficult for me for a beer that's not cold. I mean, I drink stouts and porters a lot, and I don't like those ice cold. I drink them cool. I find when they're cold, it washes the flavor out completely. You don't get those real dark chocolatey coffee notes. IPAs typically drink them colder, not ice cold, but colder. I find the same thing, if it's too cold, it washes the flavor. Oh man, that's got a wild smell. Tonight's gonna be a fun one. Thank you, Big Spruce. Thank you for this beer. Give you guys one more look because I want to. Great beer, great company. Keep up the good work, guys. I have 2 other craft beer with me tonight. They're in the background there. 2 new cans. I haven't even really read them, so from breweries that from breweries that I've never heard of. Double take. From breweries that I've never heard of, and I've never had their beer. I don't think, at least. But we'll get into that later on. For now, I'm going to sip on this cup, and let's get this fire cracking. So, what I've done is recap. Beer, check. Bigfoot, no, he's not here. Fire lay, done. Birch bark, got it. Spark tool, check. The stuff, char cloth, got it. So I've got this big log over here, as you can see, right over here. This log, because it is still on a little bit of a hill, I've dug down on this side, probably about, I'd say about 10 to 12 inches to kind of level it off. So the primary disc, the circle here that you're looking at, is pretty much level. But I'm a little worried that as the fire gets bigger, it may want to roll out. So I've gone ahead and put these 2 really wet, punky logs off to the side that'll catch it. Now, obviously they're going to burn at some point, so it'll get folded back in, and we'll kind of push it in and make sure it's level. But it's a precautionary measure. Yeah. So that's there for that. That's the deal with that. And let's get into getting this fire going. I got my char cloth here, as I've already mentioned, and I got my striker. Birch bark. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to get my twigs. I'm going to get some smaller twigs, and I'm going to get those piled up here so I'm ready to add that to the birch bark right away. Well, no, you know what? I'll just go with what I got. Let's make this interesting. I'll go with what I got right here. So I'm going to take a pile of this fluffy birch bark, and I'm going to, not really going to prep it up that much. Just want to kind of wing this one. Let's wing it and let's see what happens. So, bring you guys in. Go ahead and bring you guys right into the action, I guess. And just going to throw a little spark into this. There you see it's burning. Whoo, buddy, that's hot. So, we do have ignition here. I'm going to go ahead and fold this right into the birch bark. fold it right up. Here she goes. Try and get my stuff out of the way here. Damn, that's hot. Sorry about the jumpy camera, that kind of happened real quick. I knew it was going to go, I just didn't realize it was going to go that quick. So, there you go. There's a fire, just using birch bark and some charcoal. Real quick and simple that one was. Set it, forget it. Let it do its thing. As long as you got adequate room underneath and a good flame from that tinder, should go no problem. So I like packing up my fire lighting equipment right away and getting it out of the way. That way it doesn't end up in a fire or lost, because some people lose these things. So I made pretty short work of lighting that fire. That worked out pretty good. I think it's going to be a good night tonight. Kind of hoping for a little bit of rain. Listen to the pitter patter on the tarp. A little bit relaxing. I'll see what happens. I'm gonna try and get some of this wet punky wood on the fire and get that burning, and try and save a lot of the bigger. Well, that piece over there is really punky. How'd my butt look? Some of this stuff right here is really punky. This piece right here is like styrofoam. There's nothing to that at all. So we'll go ahead and just toss that on there now. Some of the smoke around, clear out some of the bugs, and take a little bit of this chill off. I was going to put my sweater on, and I figured, hey, you know what? Just light the fire and get a little bit warm, get moving around. It's not bad. Enjoy some of this warmish weather before it gets too hot. So what I'm going to get into, some ramen. It's almost about 4:30 right now. Probably about 5 o'clock now since last time I checked. But got some kimchi, spicy kimchi. This stuff is awesome. I love spicy food, and this is a really good one. So I think what I'm going to do this time, some of it's kind of already smashed up. I think I'm going to do like a noodle soup. So instead of wasting the water that I'm going to cook the noodles in, because usually you cook the noodles, strain out the water. I don't want to waste my water, so I'm going to try and fill up on that. And I'm just going to make like a noodle soup. And go ahead and enjoy that. I'm going to put that down now because it's really loud and annoying. Alright guys, so I'm started on a fire reflector wall right now. I got my first stake driven in. I got one log down on the ground. I'm going to go ahead and put another one in right there. and basically start collecting some old logs to build this up a little higher. And I think what my goal is going to be going forward is I want to build this wall up as well, and then do the same thing over there. And I'm thinking this is going to be my bushcraft shelter location in the fall. I wanted to do it about a month ago, and the ground was still frozen, and I couldn't get these into the ground. But now that it's thawed out, I think, you know, this is a good area. I like it. Why not just do it right here? So I'm going to go ahead and build this wall up and yeah, see how that goes. Alright guys, so it's been quite a while since the last time I checked in. I've been really kind of busy with these two fire reflector walls. So I got stakes all driven into the ground. I got all the lashing done, everything's tied in nice and secure. Rain's starting to come in, starting to drizzle lightly. So I gone ahead and started my supper that I was going to eat about 2 hours ago. But I just got busy, one thing led to another, and here you go. So we got two walls up, and I'm not going to do any more building for today. I think that's about it. But in the future, I am going to close in this section on this side right up to this tree behind me. So it'll be 3 walls, and then I think I'm going to continue with the shelter behind me. But the shelter won't come till in the fall, probably October, November. And I think it's going to be a really neat area. It's got plenty of trees that are down, so I have unlimited amount of resources to build more walls and a roof and a nice shelter. So I think this is going to be the starting of the bushcraft shelter. I've also made a few changes to the tarp. If you guys can kind of pick this up in camera, I went ahead and folded this side down, so I have a door right here. The other side's open because I got that big pine tree that fell down over in the background, so that's all blocked in. And right over here, the far end, I closed in that door as well, and I went ahead and left this one open for a little bit of airflow. And that's my head end, and that's my foot end. So I got an awesome view from inside of the hammock looking out. I can see the fire glowing. I can kind of see down over this little hill down in the boggy area. And yeah, it's looking really good. So the rain's starting to come in. I wanted to get this tarp adjustment done before that happened. And I think it's looking pretty good for the night. Jump in the hammock here and give you a first person view. So pretty nice view, actually. Kind of chilling out here. Right now there's no flame in the fire. Just got coals because I'm cooking. But that's a pretty nice view. Alright, well, supper is ready. Nice and hot. So I'm going to sit back and I'm going to enjoy this. And I'm going to be back. Alright, what do we got here? This beer is from Tusket Falls Brewing, out of where are you from? Tusket, Nova Scotia. Huh, who would have thought? I've never heard of Tusket, Nova Scotia. Well, you learn something every day. 5.8%. There's the name of it. I think it's Nipa, I guess. I'll show you the can there. It says, beyond the haze and an aromatic and juicy New England Indian Pale Ale. Wow, that was hard to say. Yarmouth County, Nova Scotia. No write-up on this guy. Can't read, do ya? But a little bit of dirt in the top. Wonder if that's wonder if that comes with the can. I don't know. Well, let's crack in on this guy. Ooh, that's a piney one. Oh yeah. See a little bit of color? A little bit of color? Oh, it's quite hazy. It's quite hazy. This looks like pineapple juice. See if you guys can pick this up in the camera. Oh yeah, that looks like straight pineapple juice. That smells really good. Really good. Gotta set this can somewhere where I'm not gonna spill it, because that would not be cool. Alright. Whew. Whoa! That has a very, very strange taste. That is very different. Wow. That's a very, very, I've never tasted a beer like that ever. It's got a very strange taste to it. I don't know if it's good or bad yet. Kind of letting it linger. Gonna linger for a minute here. It is a hazy beer. Unfiltered. Man. I can't even describe it. It's almost like cream pineapple. I don't know. It's almost got like this flat taste where there's not a lot of carbonation. And then it's got this really juicy, not pine. It smells like pine. Like it smells like an IPA. But it almost has like a cream taste to it. I can't really explain it. I gotta say that I don't like it. I'm gonna drink it, of course. I don't think I like it. And I don't want to say anything bad about it, but I don't think I like it. It's almost like you have to get used to it, and I don't like that. I don't like to have to get used to a beer. I personally don't recommend it. Yeah, I might gather up a couple small pieces of firewood and go ahead and put some of this on the fire right now and get some heat kicking out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Just finished doing a time lapse, so you kind of missed out on this. Just made myself a beer can lantern. I finished up that strange tasting New England IPA. That was, I gotta say, that was different. I don't recommend that one. But beer's a beer, right? No, it's not. So, yeah, made a candle lantern. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little hint. If you guys are making candle lanterns out of beer cans and you're hanging them from the tab, which is quite popular, I like to do that a lot, especially when I'm in the hammock. Tonight I really don't need to because I got the glow from the fire behind the camera. You're not going to see it right now because this light's shining on my face. But if you are hanging your lantern and you're not using wire, it's very important to the mouthpiece, and I know the camera might pick it up right now, just horrible lighting. The mouthpiece, when you crack the can open, that little mouth flap folds in the can. That little mouth flap, what I do is I carefully push my finger inside of the can, and I basically reseal it. Once you get the can open, obviously. I reseal it so it's flush, and then I take the tab and I bend it, and sometimes it'll crack, that's fine. But I'll put a little bend in the tab so it's almost 90 degrees with that flap shut. And then I'll come back outside and I'll push the flap open probably about maybe a third of the way, a third to a quarter of the way. And I'll use my paracord or nanocord or whatever non-metallic cordage to hang the can. And it's important to do this because if you got a long candle like I do, and not one of the little short ones, that flame will come right up out of the mouth hole and it'll melt your cordage. And if you are sleeping and this thing drops, it could land on the ground. There's a lot of leaves around here, and you could die a horrible death in your sleep. That's a not so pretty explanation. So that's what I do. And you can't close the mouthpiece all the way while the candle's full. It'll two reasons why. It'll generate too much heat inside the can, and it'll basically melt your candle 2 to 3 times faster than it should burn, and that's not good. And 2, if you are in, I mean, it's not so bad right now with an open hammock system, but if you do have the doors all closed up and you're in like snow or driving rain mode and your shelter's really buttoned up, the flame will be hitting the top and it'll create black smoke, and all that black smoke will fill your, it's nasty stuff. So leave that little tab open just enough to kind of let the air and the smoke and all that fun stuff happen. But then the tab, if you could pick that up, the tab is still going back and then up. So it's kind of out of the way of the flame. That's just a little tip. I've been using these for a long time and it works for me. So try that on your next trip. Alright guys, so fire's still crackling away outside. Come in my hammock now. As I lay down in my hammock, I can see right out. So I can see the fire. Owls are out now, so that's pretty cool. Got the sounds of that. I got my beer can lantern on the ground down here as well. That's burning. So I'm just going to chill out in the hammock, and I'm going to eat some snacks and hang out. And this battery's just about dead, so I'm not going to bother changing the battery again tonight. I got them in my pocket right now, staying nice and warm. So I'm going to say goodnight now, and yeah, I'm just going to chill out and relax, and I'll catch you guys in the morning. Alright, peace out. Good morning, beautiful people. Time to get up. Well, time for some coffee first. Whew. Wow, that was a really great sleep. Oh, definitely a good sleep. I love coffee from the hammock, as you may know from watching the videos. And well, I kind of messed up this time. I'm in the hammock and my cup is way over there hanging in a tree. Oh, that sucks. Oh well, I'll get up and open the tarp up, and then I'll jump back in. Oh yes, oatmeal. Some oatmeal, coffee, a couple other things. Ice cold. Ice cold water. Oh yes. Yes. This is usually the part where I spill it all over myself. Hopefully not today, because I only have one coffee with me. Oh, yes. Yes. Ho, ho, ho. And of all the animals right now that could probably see me, squirrels, birds, I wonder what they think. I wonder if they think anything. Or if they're just like, that guy's crazy. I'll see you in the fall. Bang! Oh. Whew. So I've got quite a bit of wood left over, actually, from what's left in the fire pit. I'm gonna go gather some twigs and we'll get lighting this fire. So I got my piece of char cloth here, a decent size. Just gonna go ahead and throw a spark just into the corner. So I've got one spark that hit that. I'm gonna grab some of this birch bark. And you guys saw this last night, but we'll do it again. Think like a taco type deal here. Just like that, guys. It's always fun messing around with different kind of methods of lighting fire. Char cloth is definitely one that I suggest you guys try. So I got some oatmeal with me for breakfast. I also got a pack of ramen, and some reason I really want the ramen. So I'm gonna cook this up. So, been thinking about getting a lot of good comments on my YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, and I think I've only had like maybe 2 bad comments, and I'm assuming they're probably from people sitting on their couch not doing anything at all. So, but I've been really happy. I've been getting a lot of good support from you guys. A lot of great comments, a lot of likes, and no, that's awesome. So what I'm going to do going forward in the channel, and this is something that I've been playing with for a while, I just just haven't been able to do it. So I don't focus on one thing in specific on my channel other than camping. Obviously I go camping, but I don't focus on like bushcraft style camping. I don't focus on bike packing. I don't focus on hammocks or tents. I kind of do everything. So to give certain people basically something that they can go to and watch what they want to watch, as I get more videos, what I'm going to do is I'm going to split them into playlists. So I'll have a playlist that's, you know, dedicated to bushcraft. So if you want to come on and you want to watch bushcraft, you can go straight there and you can watch nothing but bushcraft. And same thing with bike packing, fat bike riding, hiking, hammock camping. I'll break all those off into playlists to help you guys kind of navigate where it is that like basically to find the content that you're looking for. So yeah, and on that, I probably already mentioned this last night. It was a whole, I don't know, 5 minutes ago in the video, but that was like 10 hours ago for me. So this is going to be my bushcraft area. I wasn't going to start my bushcraft camp until the fall because I was worried about ticks and all that nastiness. I haven't seen any ticks. I wore these pants. I was going to take them off and change into my other pants last night. I did a really good look over. I didn't see any ticks. I haven't seen any yet. Knock on wood. But this spot right here is exactly where I'm going to build. So these 2 walls that are up right now are going to stay up. I put this log here just to kind of simulate where the other line's going to go. And that'll be built up to the same height. And then behind here, I'm going to build something else. I'm not 100% sure because I really do enjoy having my hammock here. And I had a really great time last night looking out at the fire. So I might do a very large perimeter wall around the whole area, which is going to take a few days. There's no shortage of resources. I mean, there's trees all over here that are dead and falling over, and I mean like big trees. So once fall comes and it starts getting a little crisp and cool out, I'll get back out here again and I'll start building, and I'll bring you guys along for that, of course. But you guys will be able to see. Got some Canadian geese flying overhead. But yeah, you guys will be able to kind of see they're loud. You guys will be able to see the bushcraft camp evolve from here. So this will be step 1. Firewall's half up. And get the other one in here. I'm going to figure out a bench seating area. This isn't going to stay. I'll probably use these 2 logs for that wall actually. And then I'll go ahead and just continue building. So we'll have a really great spot to film and do some bushcraft type stuff. So I'm just in the process of taking my tarp down, and I figured I would do this and show you guys the hammock setup without the tarp, mainly because the most common question that I get from you guys on Instagram and Facebook and on YouTube is, what tarp is that? And that's awesome. I love getting the comments and I love getting the questions. This particular tarp is, I might have mentioned it last night, but if I haven't, this is an AquaQuest brand tarp. It's the AquaQuest Defender. It's a 10 by 13. Right now I have it set up in a 13-foot configuration long. It has two ridge lines. It's got this ridge line up here, and then it's got this black ridge line that runs down. And there's plenty of loops on this tarp. There's plenty of tie outs all over the place. I love the tarp. So like I said, 13 feet long, 10 feet wide on this particular setup. And I do that so I could fold in my doors on the end, like you guys have seen in many videos that I have on my YouTube channel. So that's the tarp. I'm going to go ahead and pack it up, and then I'll give you guys a shot of just the hammock. This is my hammock that I got off of Amazon. I'm trying to think of the name. I believe the company was Foam Outdoors, F-O-M-E. I might put a link in the description to it. I believe they are sold out. I'm not 100% on that, but that's what it is. It's from Foam Outdoors, and it is, obviously you can see it's an olive green, which appealed to me, and it's got the bug net, which I was really looking for, and I think it was like 30 bucks. I'm not 100% on that, but great little hammock. It comes with straps, it comes with carabiners. It's got this neat little pocket, as most hammocks do nowadays. It's been working really good so far. I only use it in bug season because of the net. Out of bug season, you guys have seen my hammock setups in previous videos, and if you haven't, go back to those videos, and I have a full setup video. Most of my videos I always go through what I got going on anyways, so yeah, this is me chilling. This is comfy. The campfire in the background's just about burned out. Gonna slowly start packing up my sleeping bag and my jackets and all this fun stuff, and take in the sounds of nature for a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna hit the road and head home. So I'll check in with you guys right before I'm ready to head out, and yeah, stick around. So this is the reason why I have such a large pack. When I go ahead and put my stuff in my pack, I don't put it inside of stuff sacks. I just cram it in. I know some people probably won't like that, but the reason I do that is because if it's pouring down with rain, or if it's snowing, or if it's minus 15, minus 20, and your hands are frozen, it's so easy to just cram it in the bag. Right now, my down sleeping bag, I didn't even bother putting it in the sack. I just popped it in down here along with my rain jacket and my down marmot jacket. Everything's down there, nice and loose. My underquilts are in here. I'm gonna get ready to throw my hammock. Everything's in here except for the hammock and my pot. So, give you guys a look right there. It looks like a huge heavy pack. It's really not. It's just I don't like putting stuff inside of the stuff sacks because it takes so much energy, and your hands are frozen, and you're trying to, it's so much easier to do it this way. It makes pack up a breeze. It makes life easier. So that's the reason why my pack looks like it's so big. It is a large pack, but it's very, very light, and it's just full of expanded insulation. So that's another adventure in the books. I hope you guys liked it, and if you guys aren't subscribed, please do so. That way you guys can stay in the loop whenever I drop a new video. Check out my Instagram, Lone Wolf Wild Camping, for photos of this trip and other trips. And if you guys have any questions or comments, leave it down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.